Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm gonna be giving you part 9 of What If Naruto Learned the Clone Secret in the Beginning. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also stay in tune because later I'm gonna be giving you a new episode of What If Naruto was raised by the Hyuga clan over on Anime King. And I'm also going to be giving you a new episode of What If Naruto was given a second chance. So stay tuned for that and I hope you guys enjoy. And on this channel I'm going to be giving you a new episode of What If Naruto got his memory sealed away. So stay tuned for that as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Begin the intro. So the last time we left off, they got back to the village as Naruto and Kakashi went to Sarutobi's office. Kakashi explained the mission detail, as Naruto stayed behind, as he asked Sarutobi if he's a monster after what he did, telling him everything, and about Haku and everything. As Sarutobi told him that he's no monster, he's the person that is holding back the monster and keeping everyone safe. And he knew that the way Naruto talked about this Haku person, she wouldn't want him to continue down this depressed path. Some time passed after that as Naruto closed himself off. He's been having nightmares about Haku over and over. He stopped going to places and stopped seeing people. It had been a month, as Kakashi has noticed that Naruto has become really quiet and it's hard to talk to him now. He has become just silent. Anko then came and talked to him in the Forest of Death after finally finding him. He was always not there when she looked for him. She was angry as she wrapped him up in her snakes. As she cursed at him to get over it. This was a ninja world, and this is what ninjas go through on a daily basis. As she snapped into his senses, as he thanked her and called her big sis, as she felt warm hearing that, as they hugged. But then he started to push it, and saying that she was just a big softie, so she started chasing him down. 2 months passed after that as things was getting back on track, when Naruto got more sarcastic and everything he said, everything he did, he said in a sarcastic tone to someone else. As they came back from another mission, another D-rank mission as they were in the office. As Sakura asked Sasuke out on another date but he turned her down bad. As Naruto went off not really caring reading his book, when he bumped into the Konohamaru squad, he also went to visit Tenten. After that he came back, as he talked to the Konohamaru squad, Sakura came there with a depressed look on her face. As Naruto realized she always come here when Sasuke always turned her down badly. But he didn't really care right now. As Konohamaru said that her forehead was rather big, she couldn't be the boss girlfriend, as she started to chase Konohamaru down. As Konohamaru bumped right into Kankuro, as Temaru was there as well as he started to threaten Konohamaru, telling him to watch where he was going. Meanwhile, Sarutobi was talking to everyone, as he told them that 2 Jinchurikis are going to be coming, one from the stand and one from Kumo, as he asked them if they think their squads are ready, as Kakashi, Kurna and Asuma telling that their squads are ready to join the Chunin exams. Iruka was against this, but Kakashi told him plain and flat that the kids are not his students anymore, they are their soldiers, so he has no say in the matter. And he told him that if he's worried about Naruto, he doesn't have to be. Naruto's excel far beyond his imaginations. Because Naruto has been pushing himself hard, despite everything has been pushing himself on a crazy level to keep up and go beyond what he is right now. As Naruto arrived and told Kankuro to put Konohamaru down after pulling Konohamaru away from the boy. As Kankuro reached around to grab his puppy Kirisu. As Temaru asked him what the hell is he doing, is he really going to use that? So yeah guys, so basically that's where we left off. You guys can switch across to the place and check it out for yourself. So what do you say we begin this new episode? You're going to use Kirisu here? Ask surprise Temaru. These brats need to be taught a lesson, Temari, said Conqueror as he started to unreel the bandages. Before he could unreel it fully, a rock hit him on the hand, making him drop the object. As everyone looked up to see Sasuke on the tree, tossed another rock in his hand. Great, another one of these brats showed up. Conqueror growled. Oh wow, said Temari. It looks like Konoha have a lot of cuties, she said, as she looked between Sasuke and Naruto, with a slight blush. Get lost, creep, Sasuke said, as he crushed the rock in his hand. Naruto rolled his eyes. You are such a show-off teen, he said. Conqueror growled, as a new voice then spoke up behind Sasuke. Conqueror, stop it. As everyone turned to see a red head upside down in a tree branch, with a kanji for love on his forehead. Gaara, said Conqueror, shaking a bit in fear. Temari didn't seem to be doing much better. What the hell? Thought Sasuke. I didn't even notice him behind me. Naruto narrowed his eyes at Gaara. This killing intent that he's leaking, there's something familiar about it. I sense a presence I have not felt since... He shook his head, damn it. I need to stop watching Star Wars. Conqueror, you're an embarrassment to our village. Have you forgotten why we got here? Said Gaara as he stared Conqueror down. Conqueror paled. Well, you see, Gaara, they start... Shut up, said Gaara. Or I'll kill you. Right, said Conqueror. I was totally out of line, as Gaara performed a Sun Shin and appeared between the two. He looked over at Naruto, as he increased his killing intent to frighten Naruto, but Naruto looked at him with a plain face, as Gaara was a bit surprised. My apologies for him being such a nuisance, said Gaara. Nah, it's all good, said Naruto, but I suggest you keep him on a leash, seeing that he almost beat up the Hokage's grandson. War has started for less, you know. Conqueror paled at the new knowledge, knowing that he was going to get in trouble for doing something like this with their sensei. I'll be sure to keep that in mind. Conqueror, Temari, we're leaving, said Gaara, as the three of them start to walk away. Hold on a second, said Sakura. While it's true that Konoha and the Sand are allies, it's illegal for you to be here without permission, she said. So I have to ask, what are you doing in our village? Are you that clueless, said Naruto. It's obvious that they're here for the Chunin exams, or have you not noticed all the foreign ninjas going around the village recently? Sakura's face became red with anger, having Naruto tell her up like that. She has always been upstaged recently by the blonde every time she tried to say something smart. It was like he was trying to make her look bad in front of her Sasuke-kun. She would have yelled at him, but Temari spoke up. The blonde cutie is correct, she said, as she pulled out her passport. We are here for the Chunin exams. You really should pay more attention, girl, or people think that you live under a rock, said Temari. We've wasted enough time talking, Gaara said, as he was getting annoyed by all the conversation. Hold on. What's your name, Sasuke said. Who, me? Temari asked. Not you. The one with the gourd on his back. Oh, Sasuke, have you finally found someone who matches your wet dreams? I always wonder if you're into guys, Naruto asked. Don't call Sasuke-kun gay, Naruto Baka, Sakura shouted, but on the inside she was mortified. Was he actually into man? Oh no, what if he was really gay, she thought. Of course he isn't gay. It is just Naruto Baka trying to get us to like him instead, thought inner Sakura. Dope, said Sasuke, as he grinded his teeth in anger. His face was red to his embarrassment. This has been happening more and more recently. Naruto has been torturing the both of them with words. As Naruto smirked, what? You can't blame me for thinking that. I mean, all those girls in the academy threw themselves at you, and you completely ignored them. What am I supposed to think, he said, as he then turned around to Temari. I apologize for my teammate being such an ass. He just doesn't know how to treat such a beautiful woman. Temari blushed, not used to someone calling her beautiful, or having the guts to do it in front of Gaara. It's alright, she said. Know that we determine my teammate's sexual preference. How about I get her name, Naruto said. It's Temari. Sabuku no Temari, she said, her cheeks still pink. And you, she asked. Oh, it's Uzumaki Naruto, he said. Gaara looked at Naruto curious before turning to Sasuke. My name is Sabuku no Gaara, he said. And yours? Sasuke smirked, as things was getting back on track. Uchiha Sasuke. I see. I hope to see you in the exams, Gaara said, moving off with his two teammates. Aw, it's so nice that you finally found someone for yourself, Sasuke, said Naruto. What the hell, dope, Sasuke shouted at him, his eyes morphing into a Sharingan, trying to scare Naruto about talking about his sexuality every minute. Don't be mad, I don't really care if you're secretly in the closet or anything. Though Sakura may be disappointed in her to say as he started to walk off. A little distance away, three figures just finished watching the conversation. So what do you think, one of them asked as he leaned against a tree. Oh, they're nothing really serious, but we need to keep an eye on the Uchiha one. And also the one that got on his back, said another voice. The next day, the entire team was called to come here. As Sakura was waiting, Naruto and Kakashi were not here, as usual. As she saw Sasuke leaning over the railing, looking so cool. This is just great, he's right there and I can't do anything to enjoy it. She has tried everything to get his attention and nothing is working. Looking cute, seductive, wearing different makeup, she had tried everything. She was feeling. Morning you two, said a voice. Why the hell are you always so late, she said. Because the both of you are idiots, said Naruto. Can't you guys realize that Kakashi always comes 3 hours late to everything? Rather than wasting my time sitting here, I train in the morning. Sakura right eye twitched as she was about to yell when a poof of smoke signaling their sensei is here. Yo, he said. You're late, she screeched. Sorry, I had to help an old lady cross the street, only to find out that she was a missing ninja and I had to fight her. Kakashi held out 3 papers before Sakura could speak again. Anyway, these are for you 3. Naruto raised an eyebrow. You nominate us for Chunin exams. Yep, I figure you guys are ready for the challenge, he said. Those of you who wish to take it are to sign those papers and turn them in tomorrow at room 301 at the academy by 4 PM. Less than a second later, Kakashi poofed away. As Naruto looked at the paper, he smiled. This is gonna be awesome. For once, I agree with you, dope, Sasuke said. Yeah, it looks like this is gonna be a good chance to show everyone how good I've gotten. I'm gonna kick some ass, said Sasuke. As Sakura looked down in worry, she wasn't so sure about entering the exams. Was she even ready? Time skip. 10-10, Naruto said as he whistled a tune as he entered the Higurashi shop. Hey Naruto, she said. You look excited. Well, I think I have a reason to be excited today. Here to fill me in, she asked, raising an eyebrow. As she smiled, lately, he has been returning back to his usual self. She had literally used 4 days, using him as target practice, for him to make up for not seeing her for at least a month. But now everything was returning back to normal, which made her happy. Maybe later, Naruto said. So, is it ready? Of course, Tenten said. Follow me. The two walked around to the back of the store, as she climbed a ladder and pulled a box. I have a feeling that you like this, she said. As she gave him the box. As Naruto opened the box, there was a dark, black gauntlet. It was basically a glove attached to a forearm bracer, with a leaf insignia on the back. Put it on and give it a go, Tenten said. Naruto strapped it on his hand and his wrist. As he channeled chakra into it, the moment he did that, 3 claws came out of it. Now this is what I'm talking about, said Naruto with a smile. I assume that the bottom is a kunai and senmon launcher. Yep, Tenten said. Though the kunais you have to use are special, I didn't want it to look too bulky, so I carried a slim kunai, rather than the thick kind. I bet you just made them so I could come here every time to restock my gauntlet. Miss me that much, he asked. Tenten scoffed and gave him a punch on the shoulder, a playful one. Don't be that arrogant, no one will miss your ugly mug, she said. She giggled as Naruto gave her a pout. Besides, this is the only place you want to shop anyway, she said. As she then gave him a glare. Right? Of course, Tenten, he said. Good, she said, cheering back up. Now, the launcher also used that containment seal you made for it, since it was the only one that worked. You just channel chakra into the bottom and take aim. Though you're going to have to go to a training field to test it. As Naruto simply smiled, this was going to be awesome. The next morning, Naruto got up with a pissed off look on his face as he picked up the cloth that was making so much noise and hurled it towards the wall as the thing burst into pieces. As he summoned a clone to cook him breakfast while he went to take a shower. After finishing his bath, Naruto came out. He got money from his A-rank mission, so he was able to splurge a bit, but he had to transform into someone else. And he did, and he bought this dresser. As he went inside and pulled a pair of black on-boot style pants, a fishnet shirt, and he placed over that a black long sleeve shirt with an orange style trim going down to the side. He also wrapped bandages around his legs before putting on his black sandals. As he walked over and pulled out one of his cloak, they gave a mysterious aura, and also they could hide his hand signs and his movements when he was in a close combat battle. as he grabbed the scrolls with his kunais, shuriken, ninja wire, flash bombs, and everything that he needed, as he strapped them to himself. As Naruto got ready to leave. Time skip. How come you're so late, Sakura asks, as Naruto arrived to see his two teammates already there. Sakura, Naruto said. It's 3:30. We have another half hour before the exam begins. Why would I want to wait in a room with all kind of people just staring at me when I could just stay home? He asked in a very bored voice. Sakura turned red as she felt like he was insulting her. Anyway, let's go, he said, not giving her a chance to speak. As they reached up to the second floor, there was at least a dozen Genins here, and two of them at the door blocking the others from getting in. That's odd, Naruto said. Wait, yeah, I only went up 2 steps, so how? Oh, that's just a genjutsu, he said, realizing that he was on the second floor, not the third floor. Genjutsu was one of his worst subjects. He could probably break out of a few C and a few B rank as well, because he asked Kakashi to place him under them so he could break out, but detecting them was hard for him. If this is a genjutsu, then those two must be Chunin of the village, who are here to keep the unworthy from passing. Now that I look at them, they remind me of Katetsu and Izumo. Oh, he said, a hench. As Naruto started to walk past them, ignoring the conversation that was going on. Please, let us through, Naruto heard a familiar voice, as he turned his head to see Tenten and her team there. Didn't you hear me, said Katetsu. I said get lost, as he threw his fist at Tenten, but before it could hit, Naruto grabbed it. No, that's not very nice, Naruto said, with a grin that made Katetsu and Izumo shivered, because it looked like Anko when she was out for blood, or that one time that Izumo knocked her over while she was eating her dango, and it spilled everywhere, as the dirt covered it. And yeah, that was a traumatizing memory. Didn't your mother teach you not to hit a lady, Naruto said. We were just doing her a favor, Izumo said, trying to regain his bravado. I suggest you heed our advice. This exam isn't for everyone. Oh, don't worry about me, Naruto said as he released his hand. As Naruto wrapped her arm around Tenten's shoulder, leading her over to Neji. You do realize this is the second floor, right? He whispered. Second floor? But that door... Wait. I should remember they only went up 2. She glared at Neji. Why didn't you tell me that this was second floor? Neji shrugged. I did not deem it necessary. Tenten scowled as Naruto rolled his eyes. You know, you surely treat your teammates like shit. Has anyone ever told you you're a douchebag? Neji's eyes narrowed at Naruto's veins bulged on his eyes as he activated his Byakugan to intense his glare. The two of them never really gotten along, as Naruto believed that hard work can overcome everything including genius, but Neji always go by his fate. And he always tried to inform Naruto on the errors of his ways on many occasions, always causing the both of them to scowl or glare at each other. Oi, drop the genjutsu and let us pass, Sasuke said. Sakura noticed it the moment we got there. Isn't that right, Sakura? Said Sasuke. Despite not knowing anything and being surprised, she nodded. Yeah, that's right. We're only on the second floor. It's so obvious that even a child could see through it. Naruto slapped his head. This was supposed to weed out the idiots in the exam, but these two go and blew it. Sasuke should have at least known that. Sakura was, well, useless when it comes to these things, but Sasuke, how didn't he know that? So you noticed it, did you? Said Katetsu, as the genjutsu on the door dispelled. Impressive. But just because you saw through it, it doesn't mean you're good enough to enter. Katetsu launched a kick at Sasuke, who retaliated with a kick as well. However, both of them were caught by Lee. No, it's not the time to be fighting, Lee said as he released their legs. What the hell? He caught her leg like it was nothing, Sasuke thought. He must have some serious chakra in his hands. Way to go and make an ass of yourself, said Naruto. I can't believe you made all these people pass. Now we're going to have to fight a bunch of losers who couldn't even see through a simple genjutsu. Sasuke scowled at the insult, but being an Uchiha, he just, Lee, what happened to disguise our strength? I thought that was the idea we agreed upon, said Neji. Yes, but Lee then turned his attention to Sakura as he blushed. A smirk came on Naruto's face. Here it comes. You're Sakura-san, yes? Said Lee. Yes, she said. Well, I am Rock Lee. Let's go out sometime. I would protect you with my life, Lee said, giving you a nice guy pose. No, Sakura said. As Lee started to cry, but why not? Because you're weird, she said, causing Lee's shoulders to slump over. Naruto snickered a bit before patting Lee on the back. There, Lee. There are plenty of fish in the sea. Neji just watched his teammates and the blonde kid who occasionally trained with them. He turns attention over to Sasuke. You, what's your name? Sasuke said. You know it's proper manners to give your name before asking for someone else. As Naruto leaned over towards Tenten, it looked like Konoha #1 emo. As meet Konoha #1 snob. This is gonna be the battle of the century. As Naruto looked back up as Tenten giggled to see the both of them glared at each other, Naruto placed his hand around his mouth like a microphone. Hey, Neji, I'm sorry but you're too late. Sasuke-chan here has already found his love in one of the sand ninjas. Shut up, dope, Sasuke said with an angry look on his face. That wasn't very nice, Naruto-kun, said Tenten, but she giggled a bit. As Naruto looked at her, since when do you call me kun, he said. Tenten blushed as she realized what she said, but she didn't get a chance to speak. Come on, Baka, said Sakura as she grabbed onto the back of Naruto's cloak. We're gonna be late. But Naruto ripped her hand off his cloak. Hands off, Pinky. Off the precious merchandise. As Tenten watched him leave, Naruto waving behind him. As she smiled, Tenten said, Neji, let's go. I'm coming, she said as she started to walk off. She didn't notice Lee was moving. Lee, you coming or what? You and Neji go ahead. There's something I need to check out. Do not worry, I will catch up, he said. And with that he took off without the both of them getting to say anything. As the both of them simply shrugged. Moments later, the group was walking through a large hall. You! As they all looked up to see Lee stand on the stairs. The one in the black hair and the bad attitude. I wish to challenge you. My name is Rock Lee. You said it was common courtesy to give your name before asking for someone else. Sasuke looked up with a smirk. That's right. Since you give me yours, my name is Uchiha Sasuke. So it is true. You are the rookie of your year, the honored student. It will be an honor to fight you, said Lee. Lee, don't hurt him too bad, said Naruto. Do not worry, Naruto-kun, I won't hurt him that bad, said Lee. Sasuke scoffed. That the dope thought you'd be defeated. You know my name and yet you challenge me. You're dumber than I thought, said Sasuke. Naruto shook his head. Sasuke's arrogance has gotten really large since he unlocked his Sharingan. As Naruto walked off, I'll see you two up there, he said. As Sakura was screaming at him that her Sasuke won't lose. As Naruto reached room 301, he saw Kakashi outside. Kakashi-sensei, what are you doing here, he asked. Oh, he said that I smiled as he looked up from his book. I'm just here to wish you guys luck. He blinked for a moment. Naruto, where are the others, he asked. Oh, Sasuke's getting his ass beat by your eternal rival clone. And Sakura is probably trying to cheer him on or help him up after he got his ass beat. As he found Q, the both of them came up. Wait, Sasuke looking a bit bruised. So, did you prove your superiority as a Uchiha? Shut it, dope, Sasuke said, grumbling, as he held his bruised cheek. I told you he would win, idiot. He has been a genin far longer than we have, and his training routine is, well, ridiculous. Sasuke did not say anything, but he just listened. It was strange. Probably he was getting some of that arrogance out of his head, Naruto wondered. Well, said Kakashi, I'm glad to see the three of you made it. If one of you did not came, you wouldn't be able to take the exams. Why, Naruto asked. I thought the Chunin exams were optional. They are, but they also have to be taken as a team, said Kakashi with a shrug. So why didn't you tell us that, Naruto asked, a bit annoyed that his sensei would leave out something that important. I didn't tell you or Sasuke that because I know the both of you just tried to pressure Sakura in taking it. I suppose that's true, said Naruto. But none of that matters now, you're all here and for the right reasons. I know I don't say this too much, but I'm proud of you three. The three of them grinned, while Naruto grinned, Sakura had a small smile, while Sasuke was smirking. As they stepped past and opened the doors. The moment they stepped inside, everyone glared at them, sending killing intent their way. As Sakura got pale. The first killing intent she ever witnessed was Zabuza, and she had passed away when Naruto went Kyuubi rage mode, so this was difficult for her. Sasuke looked a tad nervous, but he soon regained his Uchiha bravado. As Naruto shrugged it off and glared back at them, Anko had helped him to up his killing intent as he sent it their way, as most of them turned their head not looking at him. Just as they were going to find somewhere to sit, there was a loud squeal. Sasuke, can I miss you so much? As Ino jumped on Sasuke's back, wrapping her foot around him. Did you miss me too, she asked. Several tick marks appear on Sakura's forehead. Get the hell off him, Ino pig. Ino stick her tongue out at Sakura. Why would I do that, forehead girl? After all, me and Sasuke have a lot of catching up to do. Man, you guys are here too? So troublesome. as Naruto turned and smiled to see Choji and Shikamaru. "What's up, you two? Been having fun?" "Meh, trying to do something fun is too troublesome," said Shikamaru, as he yawned. Naruto rolled his eyes as he wasn't used to this by now. "Yo, we found you guys." As they turned to see Kiba, Shino, Hinata staring at Naruto as she hid behind Shino. "I hope you guys are ready to lose to my team," said Kiba. "I was wondering what that smell was. I should have known it was you, Kiba," Naruto said. "What was that? Do you want me to kick your ass?" "Just try," Naruto said that grin. "I'll take you back to the pound." Kiba started to growl as he looked like he was going to attack him. Before a voice spoke, "You guys should really keep it down." As they turned, Kiba looked over at the man. "Who the hell are you?" he asked. The person adjusted their glasses. "Oh, no need to be angry. The name is Kabuto. And the reason I told you to keep it down, you should look behind you." As everyone turned to see the glares coming from the people in the class, especially the Jennings from the Hidden Rain. "That team from the Hidden Rain, I hear they have rather short tempers," Naruto said. Naruto jumped up on one of the tables. "Hey, shitheads, all of you look at me," he said. "The name is Uzumaki Naruto, and if any of you think that you got anything to say, just come up here and I'll kick each and every one of your asses." That statement was made with very different reaction from everyone. Yosh said Lee. Naruto seemed to be in very full form today. Tenten chuckled. "Is it just me? Or has he gotten even worse, that mouth of his?" "It's a fate for losers like him to be loud," said Neji. Both Tenten and Lee looked at him as they frowned. He has been getting more into this fate stuff ever since Naruto started training with them. They were getting near to their wits' end about his attitude, but they kept themselves for the moment. "It's that damn kid again. That punk is gonna get himself killed," said Kankuro. Temari smirked. "I don't know. I think he makes things kind of interesting. Maybe I should see if he wants to go on a date after this." While Kankuro started to sputter, Gaara just stared at Naruto with an impassive gaze. Two of the ninjas from Kumo looked over the odd, blonde kid before turning back to their conversation. The other Kumo ninja, a blonde-haired kunoichi, also stared at Naruto for a few seconds before not paying him any attention anymore. "Sometimes you're more troublesome than Ino," said Shikamaru. "What was that, Shikamaru?" asked Ino. As the rookies turned back to Kabuto. "Your name is Kabuto-san, right?" said Sakura. "Yes, that's right." "So is this your second time taking the exam?" she asked. "No, it's actually my seventh." "Seventh?" Naruto said. "Either you really suck, or this exam is really hard." "Well, the exam is hard, but you know what they say, the seventh time is a charm. And it's not like I didn't get anything out of it," he said, as he reached and pulled out a deck of cards. "Since you guys are new, why don't I give you a hand?" he said. As he channeled chakra into the first card, as it was a poof of smoke, as it was a map of the elemental nations. "These are my info cards. As you can see, Konoha has the most participants. Of course that's a given since we're on home turf, but most shinobis has brought people here to participate. We've even got a team from Kumo. It's rare, seeing that Kumo and us are not really on good terms." Naruto lifted up his head as he looked around. This Kumo team must be strong to be in hostile territory and still want to participate. As his eyes locked with the blonde kunoichi who was looking at him earlier, he took a brief moment to notice her features. She was slightly older than him with long blonde hair. Her hair was several shades brighter than his, as it was bound in bandages going down to her mid-back. She had a black sleeveless shirt with a purple arm piece that covered her stomach, that went up to her sizable chest. She wore matching pants and sandals with a violet sash on her waist. Spending enough time with Uncle, the small pervert in him noticed her beauty. And he also felt some strange connection to her. Something was similar between him and her. It was weird. Just like Gaara, but different. Both of them noticed that they were staring at each other, as both of them blushed a bit and looked away. "Do your cards hold individual information?" asked Sasuke. "Of course. Just give me a name or any description and I think you can find it." "Alright then. Give me everything you got on Rock Lee of Konoha, Sabuku no Gaara of the Sand, and Uzumaki Naruto." Everyone looked at Sasuke. They wondered why he wanted information on Naruto. "Man, Sasuke, all this time we've been a team and you don't even know my skill set. That hurts. I almost want to cry." Sasuke scowled at Dope's act, but it is best to ignore him. "You know their names and where they come from. That's not a challenge," said Kabuto. "Alright then. First one, Rock Lee. Let's see. Rock Lee has been on 246 D-rank missions. 22 C-rank missions. His teammates are Higurashi Tenten and Hyuga Neji. Neji being the rookie of his last year. It says here that last year, Lee had no skills to speak of, but in this year his taijutsu make a large jump. Last year could have entered Chunin exam, but his sensei held them back to gain more experience. Next, Sabuku Nagara, he has been on 8 C-rank missions, 27 B-rank missions, and 1 A-rank mission. His teammates are his siblings, Temari and Konkru. Apparently, they're Kazukaki's children, and the rumor is every single mission he came from, he has never returned with a single scratch on him. As Naruto narrowed his eyes at Gaara, so he's pretty strong then. I bet it'll be a blast to fight him. So let's see now. Uzumaki Naruto. His stats show that he has completed 65 D rank, 1 C rank turned to A rank, and this odd, a B rank that wasn't given to his 2 other teammates that are Uchiha Sasuke and Haruna Sakura. He is average at both ninjutsu and taijutsu, but no skills to speak of in genjutsu. Dope. How do you have a B rank mission when I don't? Sasuke asks. Sorry, classified information. If you don't know, I can't tell you, Naruto said. As Sir Toby told him not to tell anyone about Mizuki betrayal. As he wondered, but how did Kabuto know about it? He shook his head. He was probably getting paranoid. Damn Anko and her paranoid. She was making him rather paranoid lately. Soon he will start to think that shadows are sneaking up on him while he's in the John. So all you can see, there's a pretty big turnout this year. But I'm not so sure about the hidden sound. They just started up, and they only managed to send 1 team here. You hear that? Said a voice. He called us small time. Why don't we give him peace of our mind, Dosu? I said we do, more than give them peace of our mind, said the other teammate. Yeah, let's show them what the sound shinobis are capable of. As the 3 of them vanish. Naruto narrowed his eyes as he saw the 3 of them enclosing on Kabuto. He wasn't sure what they were doing, but he wasn't going to let them hurt a Konoha shinobi. As Kabuto had to jump away from 2 kunais that Dosu sent towards him. Dosu flashed in front of him. When Naruto leaped forward, "Leaf Hurricane," he shouted, as he smashed his foot right into Dosu's face. Dosu was sent flying as he smashed into the wall, cracking it with force. Kin and Zaku tried to move, but 2 copies of Naruto appeared behind them, placing a kunai at their neck. The rookie Genin stared at Naruto in shock, even his team as well. They didn't even see him move, most of them, and when did he make clones? I don't know if you people are retarded or something. Do you really think you can come here and attack Konoha Shinobi on our turf, you dumbasses? As he was pissed off when people tried to hurt comrades. 4. Trying to prove their superiority. Interesting, thought the blonde Kunoichi from Kumo. I wonder if he acted that way on purpose to make people underestimate him. You've been staring at that kid quite a bit, Yujito-san. Have you finally found someone for yourself? The male member asks. A light blush spread across her cheeks. As she quickly shake it away. I don't know what you're talking about, Daisuke. Daisuke just smirked. Whatever. Just remember why you were put on this team in the first place. She turned her head, not looking at her teammate who has always been an ass to everyone, no matter who they were. Meanwhile, Dosu got up as he shook his head. That blonde brat hit hard. Hey, you still conscious? I hope I didn't hit you too hard. After all, someone as stupid as you need all the brain cell they can manage. You thought big boy, but that was nothing more than a lucky shot, Dosu said, as he was pissed off. Oh then, why don't you try it again? The next time you try something like that, I'll make sure you meet that wall and get very acquainted. There was a poof of smoke erupted at the front of the room. Alright, that's enough. Quiet down, you little bastards. As a man in a trench coat was there behind him, was at least a dozen Chunins. My name is Naruto Ibiki, and I'm the proctor for this exam. So long as I am here, there will be no fighting. Am I clear? As Ibiki then looked around, before his attention landed on Naruto, as his face then turned pale. Is that you, Scarface-san? Naruto said. Who knew that you'd practice in this exam? Naruto said. I thought you'd be smashing heads, or something, over at IT with Uncle. Uzumaki, I did not realize you were going to be in this exam, Ibiki said, shifting a bit, not liking that sadistic grin on Naruto's face that Uncle always wears. Oh, you know me, Naruto says. He walked up to the larger man. Always gonna be a part of the action. But it's a good thing you're here though. You still owe me 200 yen from last week's poker game. Unless you want me to tell. Naruto coughed. These Jennings, he coughed again. About the time you cough, dropped your jaws while interrogating someone. Ibiki grumbled as he pulled out his wallet. How you managed to convince Uncle to let you in our poker game, I'll never know, he said. Though you'll forgive me if I hope it never happened again, as he placed the money in Naruto's hand. Naruto unsealed his wallet and sealed the money inside of it. I suppose I can't blame you, he said. It's embarrassing getting cleaned out by a 12-year-old genin. Well, that's life. It's a pleasure doing business with you, Scarface-san, as he walked off back over to the rookies. Naruto, how do you know Ibiki-san? Asked Ino. Oh, I have a friend who worked in the IT department, Naruto said. But how do you know Scarface-san? Naruto asked. Oh, that's easy. My dad was a former head of the IT department. Ibiki worked under him, so I would see him over the house usually, she said. Small world, said Naruto. Now, all of you come and get your seats, and the written test will begin. Wait, what the hell do you mean written test? Naruto asked. Studying or writing, that was the vein of its existence. Ibiki smirked, figuring that it was time for him to get back some payback on Uzumaki. That's right, Uzumaki, he said. I written a test. Now I suggest you shut the hell up and sit down, before I kick you out. Naruto cried animated tears as he walked over. His seat was next to two blondes. Temari was on his left, Yujito was on his right. As Temari looked at him, I take it you don't like written exams. Not liking something will say it's mildly, distastefully, he said. It's something that's a mild nuisance to do, but not out of the realm of actually doing. I despise written exams. They have been the vein of my existence since the academy. Temari giggled a bit. Well, it seems that you're in for the dilemma. You're telling me, Naruto said. Stupid Scarface team. I bet he did this on purpose, but I'm gonna get him back for this. You hear that, Naruto says. He pointed at Ibiki. Next time we play poker, I'm gonna clean you out so bad. Ibiki glared at him as Naruto sat back down and glared back at him. What a odd ninja, said Yujito. But he's kind of cute with those whiskers. She shook her head. What's wrong with me, she said. He's a competition. Alright, said Ibiki, be quiet. I'm going to explain the rules, only once. The first rule is each of you will start out with 10 points. The same amount of number of questions on this test. For each answer you get wrong, 1 point will be deducted from your overall score. The second rule is this will be a team test, meaning that if one of you fail, all of you fail. Wait a minute, said Sokka, raising her hand. No question, said Ibiki, cutting her off. The third rule is if you get caught cheating by myself or one of the Chunins, 2 marks will be deducted from your test. I got my eyes on you, one of the Chunin said, freaking out some of the genins. Well, I don't think Naruto will do too well. Even if he sounds smarter, he's still a baka. But I know Sasuke-kun will do alright, so I'm confident we can do this. Yeah, we should be alright. As for the final rule, if one of you fail, your entire team fail as well. What? Sakura shouted. We're doomed, mumbled Sasuke. As Naruto raised his hand and flipped off 2 of his teammates, knowing that the both of them were glaring at him. The last question will be asked at the end of the hour. Begin, Ibiki said. Good luck, Naruto said to Temari, as she smiled and nodded. As he looked over at Yujito, good luck to you as well, he said. She blinked in surprise. Why was he wishing her luck? Their village didn't even get along. Nevertheless, thank you, she said. As Naruto flipped through the pages, realizing these questions were damn hard. As Naruto looked around to see what the others were doing, he then saw Neji using his Byakugan, as was Hinata, to get the answers. Tenten was using mirrors controlled by ninja wires to get the answers. And others were using other way as well. Oh, Scarface made the questions hard, so we have to cheat but without getting caught. Figure he would do something like this. Uncle always said that he specialized in mental torture. So how can I get the answers without anyone find out? Naruto thought as he looked around. As Naruto saw the genin in front of him was struggling away, waiting for him to done. Naruto used his control over wind as the windows blow open, scattering the papers. As Naruto used substitution and switched the paper with his own paper, as he then rubbed out the other genin's name and wrote his own name down. Both Temari and Yujito looked over. What the hell just happened? A minute ago he was freaking out, but now he was calm. Ibiki looked around as he felt a quick burst of chakra, but he could not determine where it came from. He then noticed Naruto leaning back in his chair with his feet propped up on his desk. Could he have been the one to make that win, he thought. After a while, the test came to an end. Alright, time's up, said Ibiki. Alright, now that this is over, I can begin telling you the 10 questions. But there are some rules. The first rule is, you have to decide whether or not you wish to take this question. Choose. What happens if we don't want to take it? Asked Temari. Ibiki smirked. If you don't take it, your points will be reduced to 0. and you will fail along with your teammates. Well then of course we're gonna take it, a random Jenny shouted. Shut up! I haven't finished explaining the rules yet, said Ibiki. If you take the question and fail it, you will never be allowed to take the Chunin exams again, and you'll be remaining Jennings for the rest of your life. What? That's bull, said Kiba. There wasn't anything like this last year. Well, it seems you got unlucky this year, because I am the one doing this. Here, I am God, and you will all listen to what I say. So that is why I'm giving you a way out. If you don't feel that you can do the 10 question, you can go now, and try again next year. Raise your hand if you don't want to take it when your number is called. You'll be leaving along with your teammates. As Naruto saw, everyone was silent for a few seconds, but then several people started to raise their hands. As he then looked around, as he saw Sakura shaking a bit. Not now. For all the time for you to get cold feet. Thinking of a way for her not to raise her hand, he raised his own hand in the air, but then slammed it down on the table. That crap is not gonna fly here, Scarface Naruto said. Perhaps you're getting loose on your tactics. You will probably have to retire soon. Sasuke shook his head in that smirk. Leave it to the dope to say something like that. I know I keep saying this, but this kid is so odd, said Yujito. But he's definitely cute, and I like his attitude. I knew that this cutie would keep things exciting in the exam, said Temari. Ibiki glared at Naruto as he noticed everyone sitting back down, while the rest that seemed like they were about to get up a few seconds ago. Alright, I'm going to ask you this one more time. Are you sure you want to continue? You realize if you fail, you remain a Genin for the rest of your careers, never being promoted. That bastard dispelled the illusion of fear that I was trying to create, said Ibiki to himself. He looked around and counted the number of people still there. 78. He shook his head as he looked over at Chunin proctors as he gave him a nod. Alright, to those of you who remain, I have only one thing to say. Congratulations on passing the first exam. What? A random Genin shouted. What about the 10 question, Ino asked. It was then they heard crazy laughing as Temari and Yujito looked at Naruto, wondering if he lost his mind or something. You care to share what's so funny? Uzumaki asked Ibiki. It's just that Ino was supposed to know you, since her dad was the head of IT before you. I would thought that she have recognized their specialty is in mental torture. The entire test was a sham. A sham, said Yujito, tilting her head in confusion. What do you mean? I mean the question, whether to take the test or not, is the whole point of the exam, Naruto said. Isn't that right, Proctor? He said that smirk. Ibiki grunted. Yeah, give the kid a cookie. Yeah, that's right, that was real test. Then what about the other 9 questions, asked Temari. That's easy to figure out, said Naruto. The first 9 question was a gathering intel session, right? That is the best way to learn about your enemy, especially in wartime, to gather information quickly. So he wanted to make sure we can gather information in and under pressure. Hence, all the Chunins watching us. How am I doing so far, Naruto said. Accurate, said Ibiki with a groan. Ibiki then continued on. I'm sure most of you realized that the questions were too hard, so you had to cheat to get answers. But the questions were still hard for anyone to get them. Therefore, we placed 2 Chunins in the room with the answers. It was here that 2 Chunins raised their hand. Naruto's sweat dropped. It was the one in front of him that he stole the test from. Okay, I did not see that coming. I must have incredible luck, he thought to himself. As you can see, said Ibiki as he took off the bandana to reveal a head full of scars. Oh shit, Naruto said. I didn't realize that calling you Scarface was that accurate. You look like Tenten-chan over there. Use your head at target practice. As Tenten blushed a bit behind him, swearing vengeance on her blonde friend. You better keep that mouth of yours shut, said Ibiki, as few of the other kids snickered in the class. This kid was ruining his reputation. This is a result of when misinformation is more valuable than your life. On missions, people risk their life to get that information no matter what. The 10th question is where everything comes into play. Whether you will be forced to take the question or give up, knowing that you can take it next year, or take a chance, a leap of faith, knowing that if you fail, you will never be able to take the exam ever again. That is to see what you truly are made of. What are you getting at, said Kiba? Oh, what he's saying, dog breath, is in order to be a Chunin, you have to be ready to risk your life anytime necessary for the sake of your comrades and the mission. Kiba growled at Naruto, but he said nothing. Anyway, said Ibiki, congratulations on passing, and good luck in the next exam. You're gonna need it. The window was shattered as something came into the room, a banner. As it read, this single, incredibly sexy, second proctor of the Chunin exams, Midoroshi Onko. as Anko stepped into view. Alright guys, this is no time to be celebrating, said Anko as she placed her hands on her hip as she saw all of the boys looking at her and the females glaring at her. My name is Midarashi Anko and I'm the second proctor for the exam. Now everyone follow me, she said, raising her hand in the air, giving the male Jennings a look at her assets. Anko, you're early again, said Ibiki. Well, you see, she didn't stop. Wait, what the hell is this? There are 26 teams left. You must be losing your touch. Actually, you can thank that kid of yours for all the extra baggage, said Ibiki. Anko looked around before her eyes caught Naruto. Hey look, it's my favorite kid, she said. I didn't know that you were in the exams. I was hoping to surprise you, Naruto said. Besides, you didn't think I'll miss this party, right? I guess not, she said. Well, this makes things much more interesting. Alright everyone, follow me. As she jumped through the window. Well, we better follow her, Naruto said, looking at the two girls that he was sitting by. As everyone went off as well. As Naruto and Anko was at the front, as they were having a conversation. How the hell does Naruto know this slut, Sakura thought, looking at the scantily clothes that Anko was wearing. She and Naruto had the same way of speaking. I wonder if she's the person he has always been talking about, Sasuke thought to himself. Many of the others, well the boys, wondering how Naruto knew such a hot kunoichi. As they finally reached. Alright everyone, she said. Welcome to train in ground 44, or otherwise known as the Forest of Death. But guys, let me end this right here. Stay in tune for what if Naruto got his memory sealed away. And later on over on Anime King, I'm going to be posting what if Naruto got a second chance. So stay tuned for that as well. And I'm also going to be posting what if Naruto was raised by the Hyugas. So stay tuned for that as well. Well, I'm off for now. Peace.